Hello everyone, welcome back to another Proving Ground Thrifts. Today, this video should be about 2 trips to my usual places, combined into one video. While there was some things to find, there weren't a lot of pickups. So, there's a few things to point out, but most of it I pass off. Something new I'm trying here is I'm going to throw in like Amazon clips of either a version of that game or a compilation like with the Zoo Tycoon now to kind of give an idea of its kind of varying range of interest there. See if we find anything interesting or not. This disc is so bad you can actually visually see that. You can see that. That's quite awful. I only have Guitar Hero 2, and that's not exactly something to get anyway. And of course, our usual School Tycoon. The recurring joke in this. Now, my first trip there to the Good Samaritan led to no real pickups, but my second trip will, and we got 4 be graduating at the Goodwill. The only thing of real interest at this time going to the Goodwill was this Wii U sensor bar. It was kind of pricey, so I basically passed on it. If it was maybe cheap, I'd consider it. I did see and find a copy of Starcraft Brood here. It does not have a code with it, and that was kind of unusual to me, because mine is printed on the back of the case. My versions of Starcraft 1 and Brood War was the really big box that came with strategy guides for all the single player, and included even multiplayer strategies. So now this is back at the Good Samaritan. This was my second stop, and this was a Venture Company game. Sadly, the disc didn't look too good. Oddly enough, there was a second game that's a part of the series. I looked it up online, and there were multiple games in the series, and there was a second disc for another game in there. But they didn't look good, so I passed on it. Though I took a picture of it and noted it on Amazon when I do my Amazon pickups, choose some of my random wish list stuff, stuff to pick. But yeah, they didn't look too nice, so I pretty much passed on that. It's a bit of a shame, because it actually looked like an interesting kind of clue mystery kind of game. The second one didn't look too bad, but the first disc, that one disc just had a lot of nicks in it, and that. It's a bit of a shame, because it really looks like this kind of weird clue kind of mystery thing, so I'll probably check out getting a bundle set you can get on Amazon, so that'll be a good deal anyway. But these are usually $1 to $2, and if you take a really good look in the background now, a little later in the video we're going to be looking at that particular title, if you can see it. Any big LucasArts persons might be able to see it. Speaking of Clue, I found a copy of Clue! Hasbro Clue for the PC. I always liked Clue, and it wasn't a perfect disc, but it was to the point where it should be fine, and if not, it should be cleanable. So I was like, yeah, why not? I'm a sucker for Clue. Here's a copy of Driver that I would have been interested in. I didn't bother looking up on Amazon. I'm sure it's pretty cheap, especially with no disc! And there were a few other, there was a Crash Bandicoot that had no disc either, so that's actually why I didn't look it up. So it's like, because we didn't really find it. I found this, Escape from the Museum. Also know that I'm putting the price tag of how much I paid for the games if I bought it. So, you can tell whether I bought it or not if I don't mention it, if it shows a price of how much I got it for. And I'll still show the Amazon price. And let me know if you like that. If you like that, or you find that more bothersome. So this looks like just some kind of weird puzzle game where you're, well, escaping from a museum. So I was like, for $1, why not? I'm not really sure if it's complete or not, because on Amazon it shows it in a big box, but since it's in a cover sleeve, I'm assuming this was a re-release cheaper version of it, I would assume. But, obviously I'm not familiar with the company or anything, but I figured, why not? And we found a copy of Airgun! Like, one of the most awful games I ever played on my 360. Like, I bought a sealed copy on the 360 for $1 because it was co-op. And Alan, like, played it for like 10 minutes with me. He was like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, he lasts way longer in Resident Evil 6 than this piece of crap. For $1, nah, it's probably not even worth trying to set it up on your PC. But, The Dig, a LucasArts game I've never heard of. While with no cover art, it does have the back of the case's art, and the disc looked excellent. So that was a yoink. Today, when I went to the Goods Mountain, there was a lot of PS1 demo jam discs. And here's some old PS1 games. I've been all looking them up. But I don't know. Jam disc, demo jam disc, and it's like, there was just a lot of these around. I think I accidentally cut a few out, getting some of the filler area cut out. Because usually these videos are like 40 minutes long, so I'm trying to get all the more interesting bits and some Sega Genesis games. Not really worth checking out at all. But here I find a copy of Dreamfall, The Longest Journey. And I've kind of heard of this game. I've seen it multiple times for the original Xbox. And I'm just surprised how many discs it has on the PC. Like, my lord. But they all looked very nice. Has its box, booklet, and everything. It didn't look like it had a serial number or anything, so I'm assuming it doesn't require any activation. That's always the risk of getting secondhand PC shit. You gotta be careful whether it needs a serial or not. Knowing your not PS, but your PC time periods of DRM and what was popular to do at the time is pretty helpful. But it seemed to have everything, and so I just, well, you know, for $1, why not? It's pretty much complete as far as I can tell. It should function. Discs look clean. Very nice, but it's a black and white booklet though, which is always a shame. Which is kind of funny because I got Hyrulean Warriors today, and the booklet's in color, but there's so few pages, and they're in 3 languages, and they just repeat over and over in each language. So, but hey, I guess at least it's in color. But hey, so that was a nice pickup. I'd say this and The Dig were the nicest pickups I got in this particular video. And of course, School Tycoon, that reoccurring joke. In a last little video at GameStop, there was nothing very interesting aside from seeing a farmer simulator for the Vita and the 3DS. But this case, I bought this about a month before I went to Utah to Comic-Con. And it's a hard crystal case I got right here in my hands right now. And I also have a hard case for my 3DS. I'm really liking this Vita case. One flaw I feel in the 3DS case that has the X and Y Pokemon on it, the games are in the top lid, and how they press into the little fitted spots. They'll basically weaken like the middle bottom row for the 3DS. It always falls out. This Vita case has them on the bottom, so they're behind the Vita. So the Vita itself keeps them in place, and it fits comfy, and it is a hard bound case, and it functioned perfectly fine during my trip to Utah. So if you have a Vita and you want something to protect it, and you can also bring some games in it, I highly recommend it. It has changeable artwork in it too. They will mostly launch Vita games, though you could probably customize your own artwork for this thing. I wouldn't think it'd be too hard. But anyway, that is today's Proving Grounds. Thrifts there was some wheeling and dealing, and what you're seeing now is just my failed attempt at finding anything at a GameStop. Oh. I mean, if you like military shooters, you can find plenty of those. The next Proving Ground Thrifts, I actually did find something in that damn box. They restocked it with some new stuff. And good lord, I can't tell you how many fucking copies of Battlefield. It's either 3 or 4, whichever one's the previous one, but there were bazillions of them. Like, half of that fucking thing must have been copies, man. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. And that's exactly why I don't usually buy first-person shooters on launches and stuff. Especially really popular ones, because they just end up in bargain bins when sequels come out and shit. They get oversaturated in the used market. It's basically just not really something to worry about getting, because you can get so much cheaper later on. But, yeah, there wasn't a lot of nice pickups. But The Dig, a LucasArts game I've never heard of, was a really nice find. It's pretty rare for me to find a game I've never heard of, but I'm interested in it. Because a lot of times, you know, games I usually learn of, I never heard of, or usually a lot of times just stuff I don't really give a crap about. So it's pretty rare a lot of times for me. I mean, I still, of course, cross over one here and there, but for the most part, it's a pretty rare occurrence. So it's always exciting to learn of a game you never heard of. I've never heard of it at all. And Dreamfall was a nice pickup too, because I've always actually wanted to get the Xbox version. But now that I have a more modern PC, that's probably not really a problem to play the PC version. But anyway, let me know what you think of the nice little new format thing with throwing the Amazon little image with the new, used, and all that pricing of it. I usually like using Amazon as a kind of reference to the ongoing price. I don't like using eBay these days because it's a fluctuating shithole when it comes to that. But anyway, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. The next Proving Ground Thrifts will be a much more interesting video if you're into DOS stuff. I find a few nice DOS things, but you'll have to wait until the next episode for that. Till next time, praise the motherfucking sun, bitches!